All right. Welcome to another episode of Movie Talk. In this one, we're gonna do a review of the new movie with Denzel Washington called The Little Thing. It's the little things. I think I've seen this movie like 6 or 7 times now. Wow, man, this movie! I'll tell you what. First of all, the opening scene I thought was kind of weird. With a girl, she's in the car and she's driving, and she see that somebody's following her and everything, and I don't understand why she got out of the car. I really don't. I don't understand why she parked, why she stopped at a gas station that appears to be closed. I don't know why she did that when she wasn't that far away from town. So I don't get that. Anyway, she turned up missing. You know, turn up dead. That's where we get started. So we go from there, and Denzel is he's like a deputy in the sheriff's department, and then his CO gonna put him on a mission and recover some evidence. So he had to go back to L.A. where he was originally a police officer. So he goes back to L.A. to try to get the evidence. He thinking that it was just a quick pickup, but turns out things got a little complicated. So he had to do a little stayover. He goes back to his old department, and man, you talking about a cold reception. It's like there are people in this department who just do not like this guy because of something that happened before that. And so you spend a bit of a time trying to figure out what did this guy do to piss people off the way he did. And you get to that toward the end of the story, but wow, man. I mean, you can just cut the tension with a knife when it comes to certain people, how they would talk to him. He meets the new kid, the guy who basically took his spot. Since they got let him go. The new kid is working on a case that was similar to the case that Denzel was working on. But all his trouble came about. A lot of the similar things that happened. So the kid decided that maybe Denzel can help him out. So get together with him on the case. I'm doing this time. First of all, let me say the music, and I'm not talking about the different songs, during that time. I think it was like based in the 90s, but I'm not talking about that music. I'm talking about that little old song that comes in, the little old, when they try to investigate or do something, they trying to uncover something, and they had that little background music, and I'm like, man, that's weird. That's some weird music, man. Anyway, getting back to it, I think it was his old partner that Denzel met, and they went to the diner and everything, and they was like, no hard feelings between the two compared to everybody else. They have a crime scene, and the kid asks Denzel to tag along. So Denzel tags along, and I don't know, maybe he was thinking Denzel was gonna help him crack the case, because these girls turning up missing, turning up dead, and that's something similar to what Denzel had to deal with. So and so later on, while they looking for clues in one location, we see a couple. They going for a late night run, and then they get to their stopping point, and then they go their separate ways. The girl heading home. She's heading home, but what they don't do is they don't show you what happened. They show a car following her, and you don't never see the guy that's in the car. You don't actually see what happened to her. But during the course of the movie, they're showing that she missing. And at first they thought they had a suspect, but he turned out to be a wash. So Denzel is like, okay, I'm gonna be here for a couple of days. So he started to reopen his old case, trying to find the person who actually, did the killing then, because he's starting to see the connections. So he goes to an old friend of his, and she's the one that do the autopsies and stuff, and determines how a person died and all this other stuff. So he goes to her to open some old files so he can see if he can put two and two together. Him and her, they seem to have a connection. I think it's like a romantic connection, but it could just be that they just still really good friends. But she was not happy about what he was asking her to do, but she did it anyway. She gave him something to. It was like a reminder of what we did. That what she said, and I was like, okay, this is like I wasn't paying attention to that part, but now I see how important that part was because it does come back later on in the story about the very item that she gave him. Back to the one victim's apartment that he was invited to search for clues from with the young guy, the new guy, the kid, Jimmy. That's when he started having flashbacks about what happened. He goes to his. It's kind of got weird on me because he goes to a hotel where he's staying, and the guy at the hotel, the guy who runs the hotel, is right by where all the prostitutes be hanging around, and the guy was like, "Hey, you want some company?" And Denzel, he just walks upstairs, right? Goes to the room. So later, he's staring at the wall, looking at pictures, the different girls that died on his case that he was working, and then out of the clear, out of nowhere, this girl is like raised up by his feet and everything. So I'm thinking he got one of them prostitutes, when I first saw it. But come to find out, it was one of the victims that he couldn't save. So he started, he basically be seeing them, like ghosts and stuff, And I said, "What is this a horror picture or what?" Because these books he's seeing dead people, but he's seeing the victims of the case, and it's hunting him. It's really hunting him. And I mean, she playing with his toes, and he actually be talking to some of these dead women, like the one that recently that was in the morgue. He was talking to her and everything, and it was weird. While Denzel was going off on the deep end, but Jimmy was getting yelled at by his captain. Not really yelled at, but he was trying to tell him, you don't need to be hanging around Denzel's character. You don't need to be hanging around him. It's not gonna turn out well for you. You keep trying to work with this guy. You need to send him packing, send him back to the sheriff department, get him out of here. He's not gonna listen. Denzel is going to start his own little investigation, and he was able to narrow down a couple of names. While he's doing his investigation, the kid Jimmy, he's talking to the family of the girl who was running earlier, call her running girl or runner, because they mentioned her several times in the picture, because he's starting to see her, because he's starting to get obsessed with finding her and finding the guy who did it and so on and so forth. It was mentioned she had a red beret that she used to pin her hair when she runs, so that becomes like a McGuckin. Did I say that right? They meet back up. Jimmy invites Denzel to home and have breakfast. Meet his family. He meets his family. And then later on, Denzel, he goes and visit with his ex-wife. Because, that last case, he had a complete meltdown. He lost basically his wife, his family. He lost his job. He said he had a heart attack too. So it was some pressure going on for Denzel. But he seemed to be a lot calmer now. They narrow down a suspect, and in walks Jared Leto. When Denzel first meet the guy, right? He's like, cause he's checking out some things, cause there's different type of scenarios that they came up with, and Leto kind of fit one of those scenarios. So when Denzel first meet him, cause Denzel is like looking all in the guy's car, through the window, checking some stuff out. And Jared Leto walks out and he said, what you doing by my car and stuff? And he said, well, he had a for sale sign. I thought I'm in the market to buy a new car. And he asked him straight out, he's like, how's the trunk space? And he was like, can I see your trunk? Can I see your trunk? He said, no, you can't see my trunk, man. Get out of here. So and he started going into Leto's trash, and he's looking for clues, because he's thinking that this is the guy that we're looking for, because he just fitting all the different suspicions that they have. He's gonna follow him for a little while. The crazy part about this is the way Leto plays the part. He plays it like a criminal mastermind. Like, he knows that he's being followed. He knows that they think he killed them girls. He knows all this. He knows what's going on, right? So, and he's playing a role to where you like, did he do it? Because he seemed like he always a step ahead of him, man. It's like Denzel is like trying to follow him, and then he winds up tricking him, and then he following Denzel. And I like, man, and he's like, what the? So he knows that they got the hots for him. They bring him in for questioning. You know how they do when they bring you in for questioning. They put you in that little room, and they try to see if they can get a confession out of you or whatever the case may be. Leto's like, he's like playing the game with him. For the most part, he looks guilty, but we really don't know if he's guilty. That's the killer part. Jimmy tricks him out of, like, after they let him go, tricks him out of his house. He talking about he gonna meet him in a bar somewhere. While Leto is gone, while Joker is gone, Denzel is checking out his apartment and looking around. And see, this is where you start paying attention to that red beret, because he was like, because Jimmy gonna ask if he found one or not. But anyway, he's running, looking around, looking for clues, looking for this, looking for that, and he's found what might be a smoking gun, but it might not be a smoking gun. The thing is, the thing that they have with this guy is, like, years ago he confessed to committing a murder, but he didn't commit the murder. It's like he liked being accused of stuff, but he didn't actually do it. So, and that was something that I thought was weird. And I said, maybe y'all sniffing around the wrong tree. But anyway, the guy goes to the bar and stuff, and he realized that Jimmy ain't there, so he figured, them guys probably in his apartment. So he calls the police. He calls the police and tell them that a man was that another police officer was shot down. So if you want to get the police to move, just tell them a police officer down, and them mugs will move like you wouldn't believe. If you just tell them somebody broke into your house, it might be a while before they get there. So they about had that place almost surrounded, but Denzel was able to get out of there. Jimmy told him that the guy called in and said that a police officer was down. So they had to sneak out of there before they got caught, because that would have really been bad if they had got caught. They was out of their jurisdiction anyway. One's being the sheriff and one was in another district. After all that craziness, and they said, look, and the guy knows we after him, and they continue to keep watching the guy. They sit in our apartment and they just waiting, staking out. And by this time, Jimmy kind of losing it because he's getting impatient. And Denzel trying to say, look, kid, it's like fishing, man. Sometimes you get a nibble. Sometimes you gotta wait a while. So we just wait, because it's gonna happen. He's gonna mess up, and we're gonna get him. So Denzel goes over to the local little store to get a couple of items, mostly coffee, because they on the stakeout, so they gotta have that caffeine. And that's when Leno comes out, and he meets up with Jimmy. He said, look, and they getting ready. Jimmy was gonna put a bullet in it, and he said, well, look here, I tell you where the girl is at. And then we talking about the runner, and I'll take you to her. And he said, okay. So they get in Leto's car and they take off. Denzel saw him, and he was able to catch up, to follow him. And then later on, he takes Jimmy to the spot where the girl's supposed to be, and he got the dude digging holes, because he she's there, and then he goes like, oops, no, she's over there, and he's like, no, she's over there. So he got Jimmy digging all over the place trying to find this girl, and Jimmy's so determined to find this girl that he just still digging, and then this when Leto started talking mess, and because he knew stuff about the guys, he knew stuff about the police, like a mastermind criminal would. So he started talking about Jimmy's family, his daughters and stuff, and that kind of pissed Jimmy off. Jimmy went off on the deep end and knocked the shit out with the shovel. And that's when the whole movie, and we towards the end of the movie now, we getting towards the deep into the third act. So that's when the whole everything turns, and you got a twist over here and a twist over there. And I mean, the way they ended the movie, man, I'm telling you. And that little item that Denzel's friend gave him, because I didn't pay any attention to that until it just hit me. And I said, yeah, that's what that was. Yeah. So I'm not gonna give all the spoilers at the end, even though this movie been out for a minute and I'm late with the review. When I first watched it, it was kind of like I was trying to watch it, but I was doing other things. Then I started focusing on it, and it's like I would focus on a certain part, and then I would go and do something else. The last time I watched it, I basically focused on the entire movie and noticed some things I didn't notice before. I don't know. This movie is not too well liked. It's not hated. It's just not what you would call liked. It's kind of like in that spot where you don't hate it, but you don't like it. You can put me down as I like it. I thought it was different. There's a different side of Denzel that hadn't seen before. Because he's basically calm throughout the entire movie. He had this one little blow up, but I think he did that for show. The guy that they think that did the killing. So I think he was just he was trying to scare the guy, but it didn't work. Other than that, he didn't really have any blow ups. He didn't do the what Denzel would do. When he would go on one of his little rants. Not a lot of action. It's more of a investigating cop drama. I've seen better, but I've seen a lot worse. So I liked the movie. I thought it was pretty good. I wouldn't put it in the great category. I would put it somewhere in the top 20 of the movies that I've seen with Denzel. I don't think it would make the top 15, but I think it'll make the top 20. Somewhere between 16 and 20, somewhere in there. So it's called The Little Things. It's about 2 hours. It's not a bad movie. If you just want to watch something different and at a slower pace, I think you would get something out of it. The twist makes the whole movie work to me. I know some people didn't like the ending, but to me, it works for me because it kind of like, because it's one of the movies like when you watch it, you're like, okay, what's this about? What's that about? What's going on? And then when you get to the end, you get quite a few things answered, but the one thing that you don't get answered, and that's the one thing that that I think a lot of people probably have why they don't like it, because they didn't get that one question answered, but other things got answered. So anyway, for me, I think I'll put it at a strong B minus. And like I said, I've seen this movie about 6 or 7 times. I will watch this movie again somewhere down the road, if not sooner. So I do really like it. So that's it, man. With The Little Things. And it took about 50 minutes before we, roll credits with The Little Thing. Because he tells Jimmy twice about the little things. So those one of those things you have to let you figure out what they were saying about the little things. But other than that, I think that if you like cop drama instead of a lot of action, I think you might enjoy this one. So give it a shot. It's Denzel Washington, so it's going to be some great acting. Like I said, a strong B minus, and that's it. So thanks for taking the time to listen to me go on about this movie. We will see you in the next movie. I don't know what I'm gonna review next. We'll see. Until then, you have a good one.